Good morning and welcome. It is 9:30 in the morning. It's the 24th day of December 2022, which means it's Christmas Eve. Which means it's time for my yearly reading of Yes, Virginia, There Is a Santa Claus. If you've been a fan of my channel for a while and now, you know that every Christmas Eve for the past dozen or so years, pretty much as long as I've been doing this, I read this letter. Why do I read this letter? Because I think the message of this letter is just so important now as it was when it was written. And then, just it's all about belief and hope and what the Christmas spirit is about. So here it is, my annual reading of Yes, Virginia, There Is a Santa Claus. So, in September 21st of 1897, a little girl wrote a letter to the then number one newspaper, The Sun. Dear editor, I am an 8-year-old. Some of my little friends say there is no Santa Claus. Papa says if you see it in the sun, it's so. Please tell me the truth. Is there a Santa Claus? Virginia O. Hanlon. And this is the infamous letter that he wrote back. And in a time of lost innocence and despair, this letter is a clinging on note of hope and idealism. Virginia, your little friends are wrong. They have been affected by the skepticism of a skeptical age. They do not believe except they see. They think that nothing can be which is not comprehensible by their little minds. All minds, Virginia, whether they be the men's or children's, are little. In the great universe of ours, man is a mere insect, an ant, in his intellect as compared with the boundless world about him, as measured by the intellect capable of grasping the whole truth and knowledge. Yes, Virginia, there is a Santa Claus. He exists as certainly as love and generosity and devotion exist. And you know they are abound and give to you life, its highest beauty and joy. Alas, how dreary would be the world if there were no Santa Claus. It would be as dreary as a world if there were no Virginias. There would be no childlike faith then, no poetry, no romance to make tolerable this existence. We should have no enjoyment except in sight. The eternal lights with which childhood fills the world would be extinguished. Not believe in Santa Claus? You might as well not believe in fairies. You might get your papa to hire men to watch in all the chimneys on Christmas Eve to catch Santa Claus, but even if they did not see Santa Claus coming down, what would that prove? Nobody sees Santa Claus, but that is no sign that there is no Santa Claus. The most real thing in the world are those that neither children nor men can see. Did you ever see fairies dancing on the lawn? Of course not, but that's no proof that they are not there. Nobody can conceive or imagine all the wonders that are unseen and unseeable in the world. You may tear apart the baby's rattle and see what makes the noise inside, but there is a veil covering the unseen world which not the strongest man, nor even the united strength of all the strongest men that ever lived, could tear apart. Only faith, fancy, poetry, love, romance can push aside the curtain and view the picture that supernal beauty and glory beyond. It is all real. Virginia, it is all this world. There is nothing else real and abiding. No Santa Claus? Thank God he lives, and he lives forever. 1,000 years from now, Virginia, nay, 10 times 1,000 years from now, he will continue to make glad the heart of childhood. Yes, Virginia, there is a Santa Claus. So in this year, after everything we've gone through and everything that we have suffered, the slings and arrows, let me just take a moment again to remind you all that yes, Virginia, there is a Santa Claus. And wouldn't the world be a much more worse a place than it already is if there wasn't? I am the OGGM. I hope you appreciate my annual reading of this letter. Happy Christmas, and we will be back to our regularly scheduled nonsense on Monday. Till then, stay safe.